In November of 2021, the cryptocurrency space was in full madness.
I remember.
I didn't call it peaky for you. Call it cryptomania.
Cryptomania.
Retail investors, millennials, Gen Z, everyone's getting in, driven by FOMO. And nobody wants to miss out, right? One of the biggest procurers of crypto, Mark Zuckerberg, even changes the name of his fucking company to Meta, as in metaverse, because the craze had just gotten so wild that he's like, you know what? I'll be first, right? I'm gonna change my company to metaverse, and that's where we're going. We're gonna put $10 billion towards building the metaverse, whatever the fuck that means. Okay. Well, Mark Cuban was out in the forefront saying crypto is part of the future, crypto is inevitable, and now he is saying crypto is missing something.
What is it missing? Crutches or
Luka
something?
Doncic. When you got to get Luka Doncic involved.
If he was involved in the NFT space, it wouldn't have crashed.
You think Mark Cuban?
No, Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Doncic's rookie card is like what, $2 million?
Dude, Luka Doncic
way,
is
really?
No way.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a rookie just 5 years ago or some shit?
The basketball card game is not what it was like when we were.
But what
It was
happened?
different now.
What do you mean? Like it's worth more now?
So
Was
like
there a shipping
yeah.
container that burst open? And a bunch
The way the cards work now, like basketball cards, like of these superstars, like the ones that are like quote unquote guaranteed to be superstars. Like I don't know how long ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, people just started buying ridiculous prices. They started paying like $1,000 for a card, and they just elevated. And now, like stars like Doncic, dude, $1 million, 1.5, 2 million.
Whoa. What about old school cards like Gary Payton or some shit?
Because Gary's
Sean
an older
Kemp.
star, the only ones from old that work really well is Michael Jordan.
No Babe Ruth.
Kobe Bryant signed cards because he can't sign anymore. They're even more limited now. Tom Brady. So like it's got to be like a superstar from back then.
Because I got a ton of cards from back then.
Not to brag, but I have the first ever issued Tom Brady NFT.
Do you really?
I do.
Do you know how much
sick,
it's
man.
worth now?
Not much.
Did it come out of a dragon egg?
Not nearly as much as that. So Mark, so that is interesting though.
Oh, the basketball card game it's crazy.
Are you into it?
I'm like I dip my toe in it.
Yeah.
And so I have a couple cards. I won't say which ones.
Yeah.
But like I dip my toe
You
in
have some
it.
real shitty ones, I heard.
What does it rhyme with?
Yeah, I heard you have some really shitty marked up Scottie Pippens.
Like with it's got teeth. It's
I
got
heard
teeth
they're-
marks on there.
I heard it costs more money just to ship them out of your house.
Probably, yeah.
It costs a lot of money to get them graded. That's what I don't like.
Yeah, that's the whole thing too.
The rating thing is subjective, and so a lot of it is I've heard you've got to be friendly with them.
It's political.
Yeah, so like like 10 is the highest, right? So if you get a 9, it's really good. But like what the difference between an 8, 9, 10? They say it's not much. It's just does the guy like
Yeah.
It's a subjective
That's
thing.
so
Like,
lame,
what's the
dude.
mood in the day? Like,
Yeah.
did they get a blowjob last night and maybe they woke up and be like, life's good. Oh, this card's really awesome.
How do you be nice
woke
to
up
somebody
on the
that you're shipping it?
They come. So there's you ship. That takes a long time, or sometimes they make appearances. And
Yeah, they'll go to like.
go to convention and you just take everything. And so like, are you the first card they saw, or are you the 1,000th card they saw that hour? You know, like,
Comic
so-
books is the same shit, right? There's a company called CGC, which is like the most used one. And if you have like a 9.8 of like one of the classics, you're fucking set. A 9.8 is considered like near mint, like perfect condition basically, because there's no fucking 10, right?
There's no semen stuck between them.
But like if you have a CGC 9.8, it's like a whole fucking industry out there. So like there's a lot of like shade in the comic world about that and how they determine that and same kind of shit, same idea. It's all
Tomfoolery,
human
huh?
based. Like there's fucking human beings behind it, so there's room for corruption. But Mark Cuban is saying crypto still has a place, but it's missing something. What's missing to him is new applications. He feels like there's not enough things going on application-wise that justifies a lot of these crypto projects' existences, which I think is pretty fair criticism.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. He finds the space boring.
Utilization, like being able to like transact with it, like Luna was pretty.
Because we all thought there'd be a lot by now.
Real world applications, how many are there through crypto? It's pretty limited, right? It's
still beta.
Especially post crash, exactly.
It's technically zero, right?
No, there's
Maybe
real
in like El Salvador or whatever, but they could buy stuff through Bit. But like, what's
But
the,
even then, it's not that.
No, because if you actually think about Lightning Network has some real world implications that you can use right now.
for like a normie?
Yeah, oh yeah,
For a normie.
for payments, but But it's just about getting adoption. Adoption is lacking too.
That's what I think when like things actually pop off is when just a regular like my dad is using Ethereum or Bitcoin somehow, you know.
Right.
But until it gets there, then it's still like in development.
What's your take on the crypto space, Walter?
I think the application is huge because I've never used it.
Yeah.
I've never used it for anything. I've only hoped that people use it so that the value of it goes up.
Dude, I've booked plane tickets, bought things online, like and there's like wallets that we can just send, share, whatever.
Go
like,
cross-chain, multi-chain.
and and there's different, I guess, like apps and networks that are trying, and I think like you gotta kind of be a nerd in this space.
Yeah. You have to
But
really
it
use
blows
it.
people's mind that they're like, wait, you can use Bitcoin to buy things now. But the thing is, 4 years ago, whatever, right? I was in France, and they were already accepting Bitcoin in their registers.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing, though. Is like when you were saying you have to kind of be a nerd to follow. The average person is not going to be a nerd about it.
No.
And so my thing is like I've only hoped that it gets to a point where everyone uses it, just so that I don't end up in the minus.
Yeah.
Because my money's still in. I haven't sold it. It's just still in there. I'm sure Safe Moon is now worth 12 zeros and one. Now. But like I hope at one point. But I don't know if it'll happen. It depends who people are listening to. If they're listening to conservative people, they're not going to do any coin. If they're listening to people that are more progressive and aggressive, they're like, okay, let's do this. But I'm always in the hope of that they do. But personally, for me, like I know a friend because of Dogecoin got a car. I've got nothing from Dogecoin. I'm minus in Dogecoin.
You're poor from Dogecoin.
Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, for me, like I don't follow crypto enough to like speak intelligently about it. But mine's more just a hope.
Yeah, same.
Like hey, you guys, dude, keep putting money in.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Fingers crossed.
So I can get out.
Yeah.
It's like a rug pull.
Totally like Tesla, dude. Like keep putting money into it so I can get out.
Yeah, I want to get the fuck out, huh?
Yeah, I want to get. I honestly like when you talk to conservative people, not like politically, but like
I know what you mean.
financially.
Yeah, like risk adverse people.
Yeah, risk adverse. That's way better, way more accurate. Like the way they talk about stocks, it's like, oh no, why would you even do that? Like T-bills are like sound risky to them. And then, but I think like but that's such a nice, unstressful way of like living your life.
But it's so boring.
It is boring.
Dude,
That's the other thing.
even with as much as I've gotten killed in crypto lately, I'm still beating me and Nikki's 401k. That's what's wild. So it's like,
Okay.
there's still enough like to be gained in crypto, especially if you're paying attention to the space. Like, I'm pretty heavily into the space. I love the space still. Nothing that happened to Luna detracted from my love of the space. It's just like another day in the office for me. Yeah. But I get people who are just like, fuck, man. Like, I think I can't handle that shit. It's a mental thing, like what happened to you in Tesla. It just depends on if you can handle it or not.
It's true.
Bro, I never put that much into crypto, so losing what I lost, which is fucking crazy, it wasn't that crazy to me because I'm like, well, I never put that much in. So it just doesn't fuck with my head as much, but I love what it could maybe do for us all one day.
For me, the big difference between stocks and crypto is stocks is from 6:30 in the morning to 1 p.m. Crypto's 24 hours.
Well, not if you're on Solana.
Oh, well, I couldn't keep up.
Solana, the blockchain gets halted all the time.
Oh, that's okay. That's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Because when I was doing crypto, it was 24 hours. At 4 in the morning, I'm like,
yeah.
What's going on?
You're not gonna have that problem on Solana. It's basically a 9 to 5 blockchain, and they're like, "Hey, sorry, you can't use Solana right now because like we have some kind of bug, but it'll be fine."
We're on vacation.
And then
sorry.
the price goes up 3% the next day, so it's like, "Hey, good. At least corporate America has our backs." So that's tight.
Yeah, I had a
No,
hard
Solana's
time
dog
with
shit is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was doing what was I forgot what it was called. It started with an A, but it was a time it would go up 10%, down 10%, up 10%.
Is it Avalanche?
It wasn't
AVAX?
Avalanche,
Cardano, ADA,
but that sounds more familiar.
ADA.
Cardano.
Yeah.
But like you obviously buy low, sell high and stuff. And I would do that, but because it's 24 hours, like I'm like, oh, I keep looking at it. I'm like, okay, you gotta stop looking at it. I go, but I can't because what if it's on the down and then I have to sell? I'm like, ah. It was just too much. Like stocks, I like that it's 6:30 to 1. Even though right now I'm not really paying attention to the market because I'm getting killed. Okay, when I'm getting killed, I don't like looking at it. I really don't like looking at it.
I think it's more of a psychological thing because in investing in just risk, anything that involves risk, you just gotta have the mind and perspective for it. Because it's the same thing in stocks too, even if it shuts down at 6 or like whatever.
Yeah.
I think like you're really going in, and at that point, to me, the way I see investing, right, is like once it's released into that atmosphere, then it's game on, and I can't view it the same way as it was in my bank account. So like when it's in my bank account, like the fluctuation, or like to me, it's like the actual. That's why they say it's realized gains and losses, right? Because like if it's just like in the game going up and down, you haven't really lost or you haven't really gained because you haven't cashed out. The real game happens, or the end game happens when you make your decision to sell or whatever, right? So that's kind of my psychology behind it, where it's like I can sit here and say, yeah, I lost over $1 million, whatever, but did I really? Because those are paper gains and losses. My real loss is in principle, and that's always been my philosophy. So like
That is the scary part though, because then for me it feels like, okay, here's my son. Be very, very careful with my son. And then they put my son on a roller coaster. And it's like, well, technically, it's in the game, and you didn't realize any gains or losses, and you just see your money going, whoa! And then you get it back, and you're like, oh my god, okay, it's safe. Oh, thank god.
What Bart's trying to say is that he can afford to lose his son. That makes sense to me. Because you can afford to lose your son.
Yeah.
That's the part that's scary.
You're just down one son.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
you put
no
it
big
in,
deal.
and you see the whole market go like crazy with your baby.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
That's why you got to put your kids you don't care about on that. Right?
that's why you have 10 kids, and then you throw one in there and you go, are you having fun? Alright.
That's why you don't put kids on there, and you barely put park admission in there, and then people see you run up to $1 million, and they call you a loser for because you got wrecked on it. But even though you're still up, but it's like you're still a loser, I guess. So,
You know, that's the mentality shift too. Is that you're up, but then you're down, and so it's like, oh, you lost so much money. Yeah, but I started with $20.
damn right.
You know, and so there's things like that.
That's my game, baby.
Yeah.
And by the
Like-
way, I have been crushing this bear market. No joke. I have been crushing this bear market.
You look like it, dude.
I know. I feel like
dressed.
I can tell by your crushed velvet suit.
Thank you.
That's
You want to
nice.
touch it? You
Yeah,
can.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been secretly touching it without you knowing.